Eric Muathe, Muathe.com. Now, after recording the previous video, I realized there's a lot that I left on the table. So let's take a look at the same stock, XPER, and see what we can learn from the major moves. And I'm talking about the major moves on the chart going back to the IPO days. So we're talking about this move here was major, I believe. We can agree on that. This also was a major move, I would say, and then this recent movement here, that was a major move. So let's take a look at if there's anything on the chart that can consistently give us some of the major highs or major moves here. Major move down, major move up. Is there anything on the chart that would consistently give us those entry levels before those moves? Take a look at my YouTube channel, because pretty much I'm going to be talking about some of my playlists. So as to save time, you're going to find that most of what I'm going to be discussing here can be found on this playlist here and also this method here. So those are the two main takeaways from this video. Let's take a look at that chart, see what we can learn based on primarily this period, these two methods, and check the description of the video for links that send you to either one or both of these links. So the first thing we're going to do, of course, we can see that this was an IPO breakout here, breakout and a move higher. So on the monthly charts, we did not have fully developed parameters or indicators to use. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom into this period, and because the monthly was not fully developed, we are going to use the weekly. So let me zoom in there, and so here is a zoomed in version of that period. So we are talking about 03 to about 05, and what we want to see is this period here, whether there is anything that could have given us at least an indication of potential to move higher. And of course, we can see that there's a breakout. So if I take this breakout, for example, here, right there, now you can see that that period corresponds with that weekly move there, or that time period, and that corresponds nicely with the RSI on the weekly moving to all-time highs. That's one of the requirements. Again, check the links in the description of the video explaining this method, and we can see that one of the MACDs was trading to all-time highs, 3-year highs. In fact, we only need one of the MACDs. Here, both of the MACDs were trading at 3-year highs. So that was the minimum requirement, and of course, we can see because of meeting the minimum requirement, the stock did eventually have this nice run up from 04 to about mid to early 05. All right, good. So we know that we've covered that movement, or this movement here. Now, so next I want to take a look at this drop. It's a massive drop here. You're talking about from price levels of about 38 to the lows here under 10 in about 2 months. That's about 3 months. That's huge. And let's take a look at one of the reasons why we had that, what I would call a crash. That looks like a crash, but we can see here, to be consistent with the methods, we move to all-time lows on the MACD, and again I'm talking about this time period here. We also see that we move to all-time lows. I mean, this is the RSI, excuse me. That's the RSI moving to all-time lows, and then we have the MACD, and here also moving to all-time lows, and then we got the default MACD also moving to all-time lows. Now I do notice here that on my MACD setting, I'm still holding on to the old setting I used to use a while back of 493. I'm going to update this chart here in a second, and we're going to use the one I like to use, which is recently over the last couple of years I've gone to using this MACD setting. Why? Because it's part of the Fibonacci series numbers. Of course, 0, 1, it goes to 1, 2, 3, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144, 233, 377. All right, And yes, I know them offhand, but so I'm going to update this to see whether it still gives us the same minimum requirements during this break here, and it will. So just bear with me, give me a second. And because I get asked a lot about those parameters, so I'm going to show you the same. So again, keep in mind we're talking about the time period where we have what for all intents and purposes was a crash period here. This is almost 2 months of a drop. That is significant, from 38 to under 10. That's a big drop. And so now that I've updated that setting, and we can see the setting now for the MACD is 583, and we're gonna get the same minimum requirements, because that doesn't change the interpretation much. But let me cover that because I get asked that a lot. So you can see RSI all-time lows, MACDs went to all-time lows, both MACDs went to all-time lows. We only need one of the MACDs to go to all-time lows, and that is why we had that significant drop in early 2008. Okay, now I would call this also a good phase. The stock had a nice move, talking there from about 2014 into 2015. Let's see whether that meets our minimum requirements. And so pretty much we're talking about when the RSI moved to 3-year highs here in the beginning part of 2014, which corresponds with this price breakout. Today is your breakout. Now the stock does break out, comes back and tests this, finds support there, and ultimately goes on to record higher price levels. So we're talking about January for the most part, January, February of 2014. Let's take a look at the other parameters, which is the MACDs. So this time period here, we know that the RSI was moving to more than 3-year plus. In fact, it was moving close to a 7-year high on the RSI from 2007. We can see that the MACDs at that particular point, take that MACD there, was getting, this was not breaking out, so let's give that no pass. But we only need one of the MACDs to confirm this, and here we can see that the default MACD was breaking out. So there you have it. So yes, it does meet the minimum requirements, and again, you'll find more details about this if you take a look at this playlist, and the links are gonna be in the description of the video. Eric Muathe@muathe.com. As always, good luck, peace, and blessings. Woo! Yeah.